Hey guys, how's it going? Mario here. Hey guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about my latest gun purchase that I made. This is a police trade-in, and this is a SIG P229. This is the classic series, It's a pretty decent gun. It's a little different than what you would see out there with a lot of the other 229s. This one is pretty basic and straightforward. This one has a DAK trigger or double action trigger. It does not have a decocker. It's just pretty much doesn't have all the other stuff that a lot of the other P series guns have. But what it does have is that it has a uh, legacy upper, or what do you want to call this thing, the slide. Apparently this is a much better slide compared to what others that had a P229 classics had. I upgraded the grip. The one that came with was the classic P229 grip. Decided to install the whole grips on it. Just feel like it's a much better fit. It feels so much better in the hand. And obviously it's going to make it even more comfortable to shoot in. This gun is actually chambered 9mm, and sometimes that's a little hard to find, especially when it comes to police trade-ins, because as you guys know, for the most part, a lot of the law enforcement community had adopted the 40 Smith & Wesson. So for me to find this in a 9mm was it was a good thing. So this is actually my first used gun, guys. I never had a used gun. I'm really big on not purchasing used guns, but the fact that this one came from a police agency is one of the reasons why I purchased it. Now, if you guys look at it, it actually, there's very little or minimum slide wear on the actual frame of the gun, and I find that very surprising. I'm sure that this gun's probably about between 8 to 10 years old, and it's really in good condition. Obviously it comes with the only bad thing about all this, guys, I only got one 10-round magazine. Of course, I live in the communist state of California. So let's take a look at the actual slide here, and let me just show you guys what it looks like here. I'm actually pretty surprised. Steel guide rod, which is actually a cool feature on this. I like the fact that they didn't go with anything plastic, and that's definitely one of the things you'll see with a lot of police trade-ins. Usually they'll have upgraded springs and usually guide rods and stuff like that, so that's always a plus. So let's take a look at the actual barrel. The barrel's in pretty decent condition, but as you guys can tell, it was shot. It's been definitely used, which is a good thing. So the braking period's already completed on this pistol, and as you guys can see, the slides in really good condition. Obviously I need to clean it a little more, but my intent is to take it out to the range and see how it performs. I'm sure it's gonna perform flawlessly because it's a SIG. Now, in reality, guys, I think a lot of people are always a little hesitant about buying used guns, and I would be one of those people, because I really feel that, it's like I really don't like buying a used car, because to me it's like you're buying somebody else's problems. But in the aspect of buying a police trade-in gun, usually you get features that you would never be able to get in the civilian world. And it's something that's probably going to help you in the long run. You're going to get yourself a better gun. In most cases, most of these guns, are seen by a unit armor or like a police agency armor. So there is some good upkeep on these guns. But the one thing I did have a problem with this gun is the fact that It was actually pretty freaking dirty when I got it, and I just did a decent cleaning job because I mean, as I stated, I'm gonna take this to the range and see how it works, and I'm sure it's gonna work flawlessly. But you know, one thing I really do like about it is that the frame, as you guys can tell, very small nicks, and actually I'm very happy the fact that this gun is not so worn out. I've seen some pictures out there of some of these uh 229 classics and 226s that are just completely, you know, everything, the slides completely worn out, and usually here in the magazine weld area it's just completely worn out. So I'm very happy at the type of condition this gun was in. This one, like I was telling you, has a double action trigger. Um, the um, the trigger, although it's a little bit on the heavy side, it's a very smooth trigger, and it's definitely one thing that I do like about this gun. Now, of course, like I tell you, I'm gonna go test it out at the range, and you know, give you guys a little more feedback on that. But most likely, I will probably change the springs on it just so that I'm a little more content and happier with what I got. It is a heavy trigger, but at the same time, it's very smooth. You know, it breaks real nice, um, and you know the reset's a little bit on the uh, abnormal or longer than what I would expect it. You know, so I'm hoping that we get that fixed and you know, get myself a short reset trigger kit and some spring kits on this stuff, and then we'll get that thing squared away. Unfortunately, the one aspect that I was not able to find out about this gun is where it came from. Although the box that I got it is just basically a plain Jane box, and it just says made in Germany. It does not have any department. That doesn't tell me if it came from another department. I know a lot of you guys out there that have gotten, you know, police agency or police trade-ins, you know where it came from. So that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, the type of care and how these guns were taken care of. So I don't know if this actually came from Germany and it was used by a German police agency. I don't know. But I would definitely like to find out. If you guys have any feedback on that as to where I can go and get some information. I found something online, but in reality, it was more confusing than helpful. And I definitely want to at least find out where it came from. I got a feeling that this one actually came from Germany or was used in some sort of European agency, because it looks different than what, you know, I've seen in other police trading guns. But you know, one thing that really lured me into purchasing this pistol was the fact that I've always wanted a classic, you know, a P226 or 229. I've always been more of a fan of the 229 because it's a smaller gun and I have, you know, small hands, so it fits me right, you know. And I've always liked the classic, you know, pistols. So to me, the classic pistols are like the P226 and 229, you know, the Beretta 92s, the 1911s, ZZs, you know, the H&Ks. Those are to me like the pinnacle of what I would consider a classic gun. Of course, there's other ones, you know, the Makarovs and all that kind of stuff, but those are more on the smaller side. These are more on the compact and full size type of pistols, and I've always been very intrigued, and I've always been more attracted to those types of pistols. I mean, these are what I consider a man gun. This thing is not light, guys. This is a 32-ounce pistol, and it's about 36 ounces when it's completely you know, loaded. So I mean, you're talking about a hefty gun, but in reality, since you know, most of my military career, I've always carried a Beretta 92. I'm kind of used to the weight, so it doesn't bother me. So if you guys are thinking about getting yourself a police trading gun, I would definitely urge you guys to look into it. I know that we have seen a lot more of these SIG classic type of pistols in circulation. So if you guys are interested in buying one of those, I would definitely urge you guys to get it. A couple other things that I definitely want to change is these sights. They're no longer night sights. I'm sure that they were night sights at one time, so most likely we'll get these things replaced. I've heard that SIG has some sort of custom shop where they'll be able to do a lot of the stuff for you if you don't want to do it. You know, I don't know. So if you guys know of any feedback on that kind of stuff, please let me know. Put on the comments box, and you know, just give me some knowledge on this stuff, because this is actually my second SIG. My first one is the SIG Pro SP 2022, and I love that gun. I really enjoy that shooting that gun. It's probably one of my best shooting guns. I shoot, for some reason I can shoot better with a SIG than with any other pistol. I don't know why. It just feels good in my hand, and I like the way it shoots. So I mean, you just gotta find your you know, the pistol that's right for you guys. I mean, obviously I'm not I don't have any preferences on most pistols, but I do have a tendency of shooting the SIGs a little bit more, because I don't know, it feels better, and the fact that I'm a weird left-handed shooting guy, that might be the reason why. I don't know. Seems to me like a lot of southpaws have a tendency of going for the SIGs, and it works well for us. So anyways, guys, I wanted to just finish this video, and just let you guys know that I will be doing a follow-up video or shooting video on this, and just talking a little bit more about the gun and how it performed, and whether you should consider a police trading or not. All right, guys, this is all I got. Like always, God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and I'm out.